Hello, you're listening to Food Rebels. This is the food and drink show dedicated to the exciting world of food founders, challenger brands, and people in food who are doing really exciting things. For the next 30 minutes, we'll be providing a peek behind the curtain, on-air tastings, and food and drink-based entertainment for our listeners around the UK and further afield. You know me, I'm AJ, blah-de-blah, taste judge, food writer, and I'm really excited. We've got Colin Mordi back for the 4th show in a row. He has been an absolutely awesome guest presenter. Thank you so much. Anyone who doesn't know Colin, he founded Food Source Media, food agency working with brands from startups to more established companies. He is super passionate about improving representation of Black and ethnic minority businesses in the food business, and has been campaigning for better equality. We're really excited to have you back. Thanks, Colin.
Thank you for having me once again. I really like being here, and I love talking about food and meeting the great foodie founders.
No, it's been really cool having you on the show. So today's show is about sort of sweet things. Do you have a sweet tooth?
Yeah.
I have a really bad sweet tooth. I can't resist. Once I've had one, I'm like, keep going.
Yeah.
What's your kind of favourite sweet snack?
I like apple turnover.
Apple turnover? That sounds quite
old
healthy.
school, I don't like proper old
Look, with
school.
you and the fruit again.
Yeah. And I like Rocky Roads as well.
Oh, yeah, you can't beat a Rocky Road. Yeah. We have some really exciting experts in the studio today. We're going to be meeting Toni Ehrnreich from Mallow and Marsh and Evie Waxman from Raw Bake Station. Welcome, guys.
Hello. Can I just interject quickly? We have rebranded, which is a really exciting time for us. So if I could introduce myself again.
Amazing. Yeah, absolutely.
It's Evie from Damn Good.
Amazing. So let's start with Toni from Mallow and Marsh. I already know what Mallow and Marsh is, but I'm going to pretend I don't. Can you tell us about Mallow and Marsh, please?
Yes, of course. So Mallow and Marsh is a premium marshmallow company. It was founded in 2013 by a woman called Harriet, and it's got quite a funny origin story, which is Harriet was bet by a group of friends that she couldn't make marshmallow at home when they were all a bit drunk. And then she went home and she started whipping up these marshmallows. And just in the process of that, when they were done, she realised they were so much gooier and tastier and denser than sort of Haribo pink and white marshmallows that you often find in the shops. And it was from there that it really just sort of took off in quite a fluke way, where she was selling them at farm markets and things like that, and then won a sort of Sainsbury's incubator listing for a year off the back of a competition. And Mallow and Marsh was born.
Oh, amazing. I love it. I always find it in like the BP garage or somewhere.
Yeah.
It's so good. On a long journey, and my husband hates them. Well, he hates marshmallow, but I love them. So it's like, yes, I'll buy that so he doesn't steal them off me.
The dream.
It's the dream, absolutely. And Evie, you're from Raw Bake Station.
Well, actually, guys, we've gone through a complete rebrand. So we're actually from a company now called Damn Good.
Damn good.
Exactly.
As in like D-A...
D**MN good.
Damn good. Woohoo. Oh, I love that. So what's the rebrand? Is that going to be all your packaging, everything?
Yeah, so essentially we decided to work with a creative agency late last year, so probably around 9 months ago now, and we had the opportunity to work with them anyway. And just wanted to scrap everything. We went back to the core reason of why I started the business, which was through sort of my own disordered eating around food and my relationship with my body and sort of self-esteem, etc. And so the whole purpose of our brand now is really to start building up and empowering people to be the best version of themselves. And we do that through providing damn good cookies for damn good moments, but also our key messaging and who we partner with and the whole essence of our brand.
Amazing. Oh, that sounds so exciting. And we've got a whole selection of amazing looking chocolatey goodies in the studio here. I don't really know where to start. Should we start with you then?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm really excited at the sound of these. So what are they? What is Not Bake Station? Damn good.
Damn good.
Damn good. So these are damn good cookies. They are plant-based, free from, but most importantly, clean label. So there's nothing artificial in our products, no artificial ingredients, flavorings, or ingredients. Say that again. Mm-hmm. This flavor is our salted double chocolate. And for us, everything in it is a bite of pure damn good moments. So
Oh, I love this. They look like little kind of chocolatey cookies.
Thank you very much.
I'm going to have to keep talking because you lot are all eating now. And it's not going to work on radio, is it?
We actually went through a lot of development work with this range. So we were out in the market for a couple of years, actually, with our Raw Bake Station range. But we were really, I felt, lacking taste and lacking that really indulgent moment for individuals. And so when I first started the brand, I started it, as I mentioned, from my own issues around food. And I wanted to create a product that was super clean label and so clean. It had all the positive ingredients in there, but no added sugar, free from, vegan. But again, it lacked that real flavour and indulgent substance. And so, people want treats that are, yes, they're healthier for you, but they still taste good. And so we did a lot of development work on them. So I'm really proud of the products that are out today.
It delivers a really good cocoa hit. It feels like a good quality chocolate that you've got. Where do you get your chocolate from?
Well, we actually work with a manufacturer in Dorset that does all of our sourcing of ingredients.
Wow. So are you happy to talk about some of the complications you had with your diet and how that led to this invention?
I think, like many young people, and especially young females, at the age of sort of 13, I started to develop issues around my body, my weight, like low self-esteem. In fact, I was listening to some presentation, and I've learned sort of like 1 in 3 young people under the age of 18 suffer from low self-esteem. And so really it was sort of a natural thing, going to school, comparing yourself to the next girl, then getting older, restricting a lot. I actually watched the Dove campaign. I don't know if you've seen it recently. It came out in April, all around sort of eating disorders. It touched my heart a lot, but I know that sort of 70% of us go through self-esteem and body image issues. And so really when I got to the age of sort of early 20s, I wanted to sort of change the way that I approached my attitude towards food. And so I did a nutrition course. I started learning about what's good for you, what's bad for you. And then that's sort of where Raw Bake Station stemmed from. But like I said, we kind of went far to the other way. And so even though we were plant-based and we had all those health credentials of low sugar, low calories, we just really lacked that flavour. But I guess now today, under our Damn Good branding, our key messaging is sort of, I guess we're saying a big F you to toxic diet culture. Yeah. We're being a voice for the people that need uplifting. We're building people's self-esteem. So we've actually partnered with Seed, which is an eating disorder charity. So I'm really excited about the movement that we've got coming up over now and over the future.
That's so lovely. I'm sure there's lots of listeners that, this issue is a huge issue, as you say, 1 in 3.
Massively.
I imagine it might even be more than 1 in 3.
Yeah.
It's...
People suffer in silence. I think that's the main thing.
I think they do. That's the 1 in 3 that we know about, isn't it?
Yeah,
and I think,
exactly.
Having such a lovely connection with this brand, Damn Good, with Seed and other things, I think, you're raising awareness, you're supporting the charity, and you're kind of helping those people to, this is something that they could potentially taste and go with.
I feel like we've created a product, not only an amazing product, if I say so myself, but a product.
You have to yourself. I mean, come on.
A product that's come from purpose and serves a purpose. And that purpose, as I mentioned, is really to empower people to be the best versions of themselves. And like with our new branding, we have the little devils on the packs, which is really exciting. And it's really just to recognize that we all have that sort of inner demon and inner little devil and inner critic in our heads, and that we actually need to embrace them.
Yeah, don't be ashamed of it.
About them.
Yeah.
And talk about our vulnerabilities and all of that jazz. So watch this space.
We're not supposed to be perfect, right?
Exactly.
Like, you've got to learn. That we're here to learn, aren't we? We're on a journey, and we're going to discover. I always find that whenever I solve what I consider to have been a challenge or a problem, another 3 arrive. And then you have to actually be grateful for the new 3 that have arrived, because this is part of your journey, and you're kind of learning, and you're on this, I keep saying the word journey, but you're on a pathway, aren't you?
No, exactly. And also I feel for us, I think true confidence in any area of your life comes from fully accepting who you are. And I think that's the sort of messaging. And we want to be the brand, and I as an individual want to be an ambassador for holding people's hands and holding people, standing by people and encouraging them. I think when we have our low moments in life, it's okay. It's okay to fail. It's okay to get it. It's just to remember that you're damn good enough.
That's a good message, actually.
It's a great message.
That's
I love that.
Message.
I love that. Can we try some of yours, Toni? Can we try some of these
do.
Mallow and Marsh? Shall I pretend that I've never had the raspberry and marshmallow one? It's my favourite. I actually don't think I've had the salted caramel one. Which one have you gone for there?
That's amazing.
You've gone straight in with vanilla marshmallow. Let's do it. Okay. Oh, this one looks amazing. So anyone who hasn't come across Mallow and Marsh, these are marshmallow-shaped little kind of bite-sized pieces with a chocolate coating on the outside. And the one I've picked up's got a milk chocolate coating, but my favourite one has the raspberry one has got a dark chocolate coating on it, hasn't it? And then there's salted caramel, which doesn't look like it has a coating at all.
No, so that's our uncoated one, but that is salted caramel whisked with fudge pieces. So it's sort of dialing up that indulgence with the fudge inclusions.
I mean, it's a classy marshmallow, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
not like the kind of chewy ones that you have at a kid's
The one you
party.
get at the
Yeah.
fairground. Or whatever, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's
that
different.
bougie element of it, but yeah.
It definitely has. It's got that kind of, it's got the squashiness, it's got that kind of texture that you're expecting, but it's not bouncy chewy. It's kind
It
of,
doesn't taste like rubber, basically.
Yeah.
It tastes like, yeah.
That's what we're aiming for. No, it's dense, and that's what I think is. I mean, it's got that squidginess. It's got that. It's lighter than chocolate, but it's still a mallow and marshmallow. It's a denser mallow, and it's gooier. And some people sort of liken it to something like a nougat almost. It's very, very different from your pink and white, and I think that's the sort of defining feature of the product. And people try it, which is, didn't think I liked marshmallow, but I love mallow and marsh.
Like, personally, I'm not really a marshmallow fan. Like, that I think I'm a convert. Like,
great.
That's nice. Like, yeah, I do like.
Nice.
Yeah, it's kind of like converted me even more, like, sort of thing. Because I'm not really a marshmallow fan, but
yeah, so these are kind of marshmallows for people who do not think that they're a marshmallow eater.
yeah.
This might get you back in.
Yeah, as you were saying, when you think of marshmallows, you think of like the rubbery texture, something where you bite into it, it'll, like,
Really overly sweet.
yeah, it'll take off your teeth.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But those are they're very nice and smooth, man.
They're really good. The thing I really like about the raspberry one is you actually get the texture of the seeds, the raspberry seeds in the marshmallow, don't you?
Yeah, because we use freeze-dried raspberry powder to flavour the mallow, so it's a real. That's why it's a real raspberry taste, because it is real raspberries. But because they are freeze-dried and then pulverised into that powder, you do get a few of the seeds, so it's got that slight texture to it.
Yeah, I love this. I love the texture. To me, it makes it just taste so much more authentic. I really enjoy it.
Yeah.
Amazing. So the inspiration behind Mallow and Marsh was literally just a night out.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. I mean, at the time, Harriet had this jewellery business. She was making these marshmallows and selling the marshmallows on the side of the jewellery, and the marshmallows actually took off. So she was like, maybe I'll run with this. And there really was no premium marshmallow brand in that mainstream market. It was just a completely sort of a huge innovation in that confectionery world. So she knew she sort of had something.
Yeah, there was for a while, wasn't there, like marshmallow in a box that you could get sent, where you could get sort of pictures put on all of the marshmallows. Does anyone
really?
remember that?
Oh, from a different brand, you mean?
From a different brand. It was before Mallow and Marsh, but there was sort of this revival of marshmallow for a while. And I just
I can remember,
I sent some to somebody, and I remember them being like, thanks. I'm not sure if I want to eat pictures of us. Like, oh yeah, you're right. This is slightly weird.
I think that's a great gift.
But yeah, this is definitely an improvement on that evolution. It's, and what about for you? What's Evie? Where's the journey going to take you? Because you brought with you one flavour today, didn't you?
Yes. So we've just launched. We have 3 flavours on the market at the moment. We've just launched a further 2 new flavours.
What was the flavour we tasted today?
The flavour we tasted today was salted double chocolate with hazelnut.
Oh, right. Okay.
Which is juicy. Then we have our honeycomb and chocolate, which is delicious. We've also got our ginger chocolate and orange, which is really nice.
Oh, that sounds
spice
good.
in there, and they've got some chewy orange pieces throughout. And then we've launched a vanilla choc chip, so our not so plain Jane flavour. And then lastly, we've got our chocolatey and orangey, which is basically a double take on Terry's chocolate orange. So.
Oh, wow. That sounds
so
amazing.
5 in the range, yeah. But moving forward, so obviously we've got our cookie range at the moment. So they're just single serve packs, grab and go. But we are launching a range of savoury high protein crisps in January. So they're going to be called our Cheesies range, which is basically replicates of Cheese Whatsits, which is definitely a childhood favourite snack of mine.
We had a brand in a few weeks back called Crave, who has a whole range of really lovely different crisps and things, but you have to be very careful, don't you, when you've got something that's quite similar to another brand to keep it keep the name far enough away, I think. Oh, that's really exciting. So you've got a whole range of MPD coming, and then what's next after that? Is that, where are you available at the moment?
Yeah. So currently we're in around 600 co-op stores. We're in the Cardo, Dalesford, and then some smaller independents in the UK. We export to the UAE, so that was recently earlier this year, or started this year, sorry. And then we're also working with some online retailers, in Germany and France as well.
That's amazing. You're exporting to the UAE. So what is it that they love about this?
I think there's a massive movement over there for more plant-based and especially gluten-free products. I have to say that they definitely have a sweeter tooth than we do, which is perfect for our products now, because previous to this, with our raw baked station brand, with the no added sugar and all of the sort of lack of real flavour, they were moving slightly slower. So now they've obviously got the new products. The buyers love them. With our new products, so the products that we have today, we did actually, with the development work, have to add in some more sugar, which I was super reluctant to do. But, as we mentioned at the start of the show, like, nobody's perfect, and we can accept having a bit of good and bad in your life as well.
So exciting. And what about for Mallow and Marsh? Have you got more kind of different flavours and sneak peek of the future coming up?
We are developing some flavours for a launch next year, which is very exciting. I'm not allowed to say too much. And then one kind of bigger piece of innovation in the pipeline. Lots of exciting things in store for Mallow and Marsh in terms of we're also doing a bit of rework launch on the brand. And with that, a kind of first, what would say was a big MPD product, so going beyond just a different flavour, but actually kind of reinventing the marshmallow in a completely different form. So,
cool. Because you've brought in today the packs with the kind of bites, individual portion bites, haven't you?
Yeah.
I've definitely had the kind of grab and go.
Yes,
bars.
One bar here, we've got our salted caramel bar, but so currently we have it in those two formats. But actually the challenge is how can we get marshmallow in all different kinds of formats, different
birthday
categories. Cake, love, ice cream. This is where the MPD team's like, get in the bin, Toni. Like, but there's so many things you can do with marshmallow, and that really was kind of something that Harriet, the kind of founder, had said. Like, marshmallow can be the way that chocolate is. It's in cakes, it's in biscuits, and it's in ice cream, and really there's that potential for versatility with marshmallow, and there's so much untapped territory there to explore. So it's very exciting.
And it's a really fascinating texture, isn't it, as we were just saying before, but it feels quite sort of wholesome, and it feels quite proteiny. I don't know if it actually has any of that in it, but it feels like it's got a lot of integrity to it while you're eating it, which I think is really fascinating. I mean, would you go savoury?
Ooh, would we go savoury? I don't know. I mean, it's hard to imagine, because I guess in the basis of marshmallow, it's a sweetness, like a savoury mallow. Maybe. I mean, why not? I wouldn't rule it out. But I think fundamentally we do see ourselves as a treat, and we're not trying to develop into the health space or into the protein space. We are fundamentally there for those moments where you want to treat and enjoy yourself. And like Evie said, it's all about moderation at the end of the day. And for us, it's really about the quality of the treat. So actually, when you are going to have a treat, have the best chocolate, really treat yourself to, craft marshmallow. It's how you kind of dial up those moments of indulgence.
And although I know you'd never say you are healthy or healthier or anything like that, but I have a perception in my head that it's low calorie and it's slightly better than eating a bar of chocolate. I don't know if that's true at all, but it's what I've told myself.
Yeah, I mean, I get calories as one of the levers you can pull in terms of managing a healthy diet. So yes, we are lighter in calorie. All of our mallows are under 140 calories per serving. And that is absolutely a reason why some people love us, because, we're lighter in calorie than their chocolate bar. But I think what's interesting, because we did a focus group really recently about this kind of idea of health, and what we're really seeing in terms of trends of young people is that health is seen much more holistically. So it's not just about calories, but it's about ingredients, and it's about mental health and lifestyle, and there's all these things that come into health. So actually to promote ourselves as a healthier option when we're just talking about calories isn't really the future of where conversations about health are going in the treat space. So and that's not really, we're not there to be a healthy option, but we like the fact that obviously it's great for some people who are trying to manage their weight, and we can allow them to treat themselves and be a bit lighter on calories if that's what they're looking for.
No, it's really fascinating. So what's the future then? It's more MPD, some more just going into different spaces. Where are you available at the moment?
So we're available in all the sort of big supermarkets. You can find Mallow Marsh in Tesco, Sainsbury's, Asda, Waitrose, Ocado, and also in some sort of smaller independents and high street retailers like Boots and Whole Foods. So the distribution is quite strong, but as you said, I think our focus is really getting the brand awareness out there. Like Mallow and Marsh there's still, most people in the UK haven't heard of Mallow and Marsh, so getting that message out, but also new products on shelves is a real focus for the brand at the moment.
Cool. I mean, who's your typical purchaser?
So typical purchaser, we do dominate in female market, so predominantly women, which is interesting, and actually a slightly older consumer, which is the sort of 45 plus.
Oh well, I'm miles from that, so we're fine.
But I mean, generally, 25 to 54 or plus is our sort of sweet spot, which I just realised is sort of everybody. but I think being
Broadly everyone.
yeah,
okay, got
world,
it. That's amazing. And what about you? Who do you find kind of chimes with your brand more?
Yeah, I'd say same as Toni, females predominantly. We've kind of broken it down into 3 different groups, but I'd say prominently our sweet spot as well is around sort of 20 to 35-year-olds. And I guess with our new brand messaging, etc., it's probably people that are like still finding themselves, finding their purpose, looking to brands, influencers, friends, people in their lives for guidance and things like that. So yeah, I'd probably say 20 to 35-year-olds, yeah.
Yeah, it's really interesting, isn't it? I think there's a lot going on with people looking for external support a lot, isn't there? With various different kind of, like you were saying, kind of some of the mental health and self-esteem related issues that have, we've seen so sadly rising over the last few years.
Yeah, I think with mental health, it's becoming more and more of a not so much a taboo anymore to be speaking about it. But I still think there is a lot more that we could be doing. You see brands and lots of like influential people talking about the sustainability of our planet, which rightly so. We're doing our bit by only using recycled plastic and being plant-based. But not many people are talking about like mental sustainability or human sustainability. And so that's sort of the space that we're tapping into now, sort of emotional, mental and psychological.
Like
that's really
well-being.
interesting.
Exactly.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's really interesting. There's a brand I met a few weeks back called Tasty Mates, and that was...
Yes, I know them well.
Do you know them? Oh, is it Joe Wolf?
Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. Really cool brand, and that was all about kind of checking in on your mates and just having a little moment with some jelly babies and chatting and being like, you're right, what's going on with you?
Yeah. No, they're fantastic products as well.
Yeah, I really love that. And do you think a brand, I want this to be the case, do you think a brand can really be a lever in that environment? Do you think, you can make a difference with you and Tasty Mates and other brands trying to do this?
Yeah, definitely. I think, obviously, especially now we're more and more becoming connected more online. I think people are influenced by the people that they follow on social media. Lots of influencers have a lot of sway on individuals. Really, like, we want to be much more than a product, and we want to build a movement. And so we want to start encouraging people to pick up the phone to their loved ones and ask them if they're okay, or to pick up someone. We're all going to have our ups and down days. And so I think, if there's a lot of us that can collaborate together and start pushing out more of this sort of messaging, I think, we can do a great job.
Do you think it's because we, over the last 20, 30, 40, 50 years, I don't know, we've been encouraged so much to live these very independent lives and be a grown-up and get a flat and live by yourself. And actually before that, through whatever reasons, lack of availability, lack of funds, lack of whatever, we actually would stay living in community spaces for much longer. You'd stay in bigger houses with lots of different people all contributing. You would lodge in people's houses back in the 50s rather than living on your own. Do you think we need to actually start pulling it back in? You've got all these mothers around the world or around the country, certainly really struggling to do it all and be it all and run a business and have kids and appear to do it without any sort of housekeepers or, things that might have existed in the 80s or 70s or 60s. And I really can see that this is going to have to bend back round on itself at some point, because you can't do it all and you can't maintain it for a really long time. It's too much.
For me, personally, as an individual, I think it's actually really sad the way the world's going with the rise of social media. Everyone's comparing themselves way more than we used to. I spoke about my sort of journey with my own relationship with food, and I wasn't comparing myself to the girls that were sat next to me in my classroom. But then you look at on social media, we've now got all these fitness influencers and projecting this life that's really unachievable for a lot of people, and then filters and all of that jazz. I think actually that's contributing a lot more to poor mental health.
I completely agree with you. There's a female scientist called Liv Boeree, who I happen to know, and she does the most amazing podcast about this kind of stuff. She does all this talking about how we don't just compare ourselves with, a magazine of a beautiful airbrushed person that's not actually as perfect as that in real life, But now we have a filter. We're comparing ourselves with the perfect version of ourselves, which is something that was never real anyway.
Yeah.
And these filters, as you know, they can make your eyes bigger. They smooth your skin. If you think, oh gosh, my ear's slightly higher on the left, you can just fix it with the app, and it's not real.
Yeah, it's teaching younger people, especially who are way more impressionable,
that you're not good enough.
Exactly. That
you're not good enough. Let's fix you.
Something in a split second and look perfect on the online world or in the online world.
And there's nothing about it that is just saying, you are brilliant as you are. You're supposed to look like that. And when you start messing about with your face and your features and making yourself look perfect, all your family and friends who love you massively don't even recognize you anymore. They're kind of looking at you thinking, who is this person?
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I mean, for us, that's what we're trying to be the voice to bring back, is like, nobody's perfect. Fully accept. We all have flaws.
But embrace those, love them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, we have a thing in the company I run, Sharp Relations, where we talk a lot about love your mistakes, because a mistake means you pushed yourself outside of your comfort zone. A mistake is something where you've learnt, and it's not even really a mistake, but just love it. Just have that moment where you go, oh no, but actually, no, that's okay. Like, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
These things happen. You got to love your mistakes and love that moment in your journey where you've just learnt something completely new and you're on to the next thing, which is really cool.
Yeah, it's all the way you look at it, isn't it? It's how you perceive things. And so like it's okay to fail, and it's okay to get rejected. It's okay to, have a hiccup. But I think it's about getting up the next day. Like you said, you've learned something. It's about how you approach situations.
It's that resilience, isn't it? Exactly. And I think that's an element that, I'm really aware I need to teach my kids.
Yeah.
Is resilience. You're not always going to get this right, and that's okay. You can just smile and go, oopsie, and carry on, because you're 8. But actually that at 8 needs to translate to 28 and 48 and whatever.
But I guess we've been, not as individuals, but society, I've been conditioned to, when we hear the word mistake, it's got negative connotations, like done something wrong or external.
Rather than a mistake, a misstep.
Yeah. But it's the whole, I've made a mistake, so you're looking at what's going to happen if I make this mistake as a result of this mistake. That's why I think where the issue
it's toxic perfectionism, isn't it?
Yeah.
Rather than just holding your hands up and being like, whoops, never mind, we're now going in a different direction.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I think is really cool, and I think actually chimes really well on social media when I see people doing that and kind of going, hands up, that wasn't quite supposed to be like that, but never mind.
Absolutely. I mean, I love it when I'm innocent. Obviously, I think of like the kings of the self-deprecation in that way sometimes, but if they have a product that gets delisted, they almost take the mick out of it and they're like, everybody hates it. And I guess not all brands can necessarily get away with that, but I think in a way it's the reaction towards that is always so positive, because everyone can sort of relate to that, like, oh yeah, well, I've got something wrong in my job, or we did this project and it was a disaster, and people just connect to that. There's something universal in we messed up, basically.
Yeah, and it's inviting other people to go, yeah, we had that. But they always say that one door closes and another one opens. And that probably wasn't the path. It probably wasn't the right path. And the right path will be much clearer and easier to follow. I love this. This has been a really quite existential conversation in all the best ways.
Therapeutic as well.
Yeah, I feel like I got a lot off my chest today. Thank you so much. Thank you to Colin Mordi. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show the last 4 weeks. Thank you. And our fabulous guests, Toni from Marsh and Mallow and Evie from Raw Bake Station. Thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You've been listening to Food Rebels. We broadcast live at 5 every Wednesday through radio shows and stations around the UK and further afield, as well as podcasting apps, all the usual ones, iTunes, Spotify, Audible, whatever one you've got on your phone. If you're interested to appear on the show, please do get in touch on hello@foodrebels.co.uk, as we'd love to hear from you, especially if you've got a rebellious story to tell us.